Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and this one's going to be all about my job interview tips. Now, I'm a second-year college student, and so I've had quite a few jobs, so I feel like I have enough experience to kind of share some of my tips with you guys. So we're going to get right into it. Tip number one is to dress really well. You want to dress for the job that you're going for. So obviously, if I'm going into a lower level job, or not necessarily lower level, but depending on the job. Like, for example, if I'm going to a job that's about fashion and makeup and high-end and all these things, I'll probably wear an outfit like this. It's just a simple 3/4 top. It's striped, which it always makes you look smarter. And depending on if it's a makeup place, then I will wear a bold lip. But honestly, any other job like that, you're probably not going to want to wear makeup like this. Nothing too heavy. Probably not a bold lip, something simple, something very, very natural. You're probably not going to want to wear a dress with a lot of cutouts or that's not too short. So you want to always remember to dress well, and that includes your smile. I remember one of my first jobs, my manager, she was very, very sweet, and we were talking one day, and she was saying how I was nothing like what she thought I was originally because I didn't smile too much in the interview, though I answered every question great and the interview went well. She said that I didn't smile a lot, and I didn't even really notice that because I am a person who smiles quite a lot. It's very easy to make me laugh, so from there I always try to keep in mind that I should smile. So it's very important to dress well and carry your smile with you even on your job interview. Tip number two would be to be on time and be prepared to spend at least an hour at the job. You definitely want to show up. You want to show up at the very least 15 minutes before the interview starts. It'll just make you look good, make you look very presentable, like you want to be there, like you really want that job. And you have to be prepared to spend an hour because sometimes that's how long interviews take. Maybe you get there 15 minutes early and the manager's not ready, or they're interviewing a lot of people, and I've been in situations like that where it was a group interview, so we had to go one by one down the line, and it just took a lot longer than I expected. So be prepared to spend at least an hour there. You don't want to have to run out and maybe you have to pick someone up or you have some other duties. Choose a time that allows you to stay for an hour. My third tip would be to be honest, but not too detailed. And for example, one of the tips that I learned that someone told me, not entirely sure who it is, I can't remember who it is, but they said that, you know, you really shouldn't share too much about your past job. The manager is going to ask you that, but you don't, if it wasn't a good experience, you don't want to say that because it just makes you look bad. And I've had a manager talk, not to me, but to someone else, saying, you know, it doesn't look really good when you talk about your past job in a negative way. They might think that if you don't get this job, or if you get it and then leave, you're going to talk negatively about the people there and the company. And as a manager, their job is to kind of keep that reputation very well. So talk about the good qualities about your past job when you are asked. My tip number 4 would be to be prepared to have your answers ready. Typically, jobs do ask the same questions over and over, so you can just Google it. I'll probably leave a link to some good questions that jobs are going to ask you. They're pretty much the same, but just have some answers prepared so that you don't stutter. You're not saying well, or you know what I mean. So just kind of have some answers to the questions you know they're gonna ask. And tip number 5, which I think is one of the most important ones on this list, and it's not something that we think about quite a lot, it would be to ask the manager questions. Every single time you go on an interview, the manager is going to ask you, is there anything you want to ask me? And a lot of the times we really don't have anything to ask. But one of the questions I think you should ask is, why do people get fired from this job? Or how often do people get fired? You really want to know that because one of my very first jobs, people quit so often, and I didn't realize until I was already there, and then I started to see why, and it really was because the management was not good. And of course I was already stuck in that situation, and I couldn't leave because I needed the job, I needed to eat. So you definitely want to ask about why and how often do people leave that job. And I realized the second time around for my second jobs, I asked that and the rate was really low, and that job actually turned out to be very good. So it's a question that I think is very important that you ask when you are on a job interview. Those are my top 5 tips for job interviews, and I hope this was helpful, you guys. I hope you can use it when you're going on your job interview. If you didn't know any of these, leave in the comment section some of your tips that you think are helpful, that'll get someone that job. Don't forget to thumbs this video up and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in another one.